Can you hear me now, George?
Hey, can you hear me now? Are we working yet?
Yep.
All right, now we're back. Just gonna have to get in their chat there. Yeah, these Sennheiser lavalier microphones sometimes have feelings that I somehow hurt, and then they decide to get mad at me. Sorry about that, everybody. Volcon. He's holding the mic back, he knows, I guess, yeah. What's this, a volume level for ants? Do ants have especially good hearing? I feel like you'd have to speak at normal audio to get ants to hear you.
It's a quote from a movie.
Oh, a quote from a movie. I learned this last weekend that I'm not much of a movie guy. We have this board, a whiteboard that we just put a bunch of hot takes on, and I put the hot take that I put a bunch of hot takes on, and I put the hot take that James Cameron is better than Christopher Nolan, and then my coworkers all yelled at me and made me watch The Prestige, and I just didn't do it for me. Not my kind of movie. Somebody's asking me about the giveaway, about how to enter. All you have to do is just be active in the chat. If you are just chatting in there, it's going to be great. You'll be there and you could get in to win. Today we're giving away 2 Remet Infinite Powers. We've got Mr. Stonewash or Bead Blast, I'm not sure which, and we've got Mr. Black and fancy anodized flavors here. It's going to be awesome. Today is not my birthday, Jeff Smooth. My birthday is in August. It was August 4th. We had a live on my birthday. You were all there to see it. Sorry. Fun fact, I share a birthday with Barack Obama, and he throws an absolute rager every year for his birthday. And even though I disagree with his proponents of keeping knife laws restrictive, I do enjoy a good rager. So it is on my bucket list to go and have a party with Barack Obama for our birthday someday. Infinite Power looks pretty cool. It does. Watching from Florida, Corey Kos. I have no idea how to say that, but thanks for joining us. Florida's a good place. I like 4 of James Cameron's movies a whole lot, and I like all of Nolan's movies. So I was lamenting this to my coworkers here. I like linear storytelling and I like satisfying resolutions, and James Cameron provides those. Christopher Nolan does not. Now, does that make Christopher Nolan less of an artist is the question, and I don't think it does. I think I admire his storytelling ability. I don't think he's making movies for me, which is okay. I can still appreciate the art even if I don't love the art. I don't think he's done anything objectionable in his life. He hasn't been involved in any scandals or anything, so I don't know. I have no reason to dislike him other than that I don't care for his movies, I suppose. Excited for the giveaway today, Josiah Kramer, as am I. Let me tell you, Tenet doesn't have either of those. That's what I said about The Prestige. Anyway, Juliana, I hope you're having a great Monday. Juliana, I'm having a great Monday. I hope you are having one as well. I need to get rich so I can buy way more knives. So I was at Blade Show once, and I was talking to some guy outside the Blade HQ booth, and he says, Blade Show is basically a candy store, and you are a kid with $1. And I'm like, well, what if you brought a lot of money? And he says, it just compounds. No amount of money can fully scratch your knife itch, which is a terrifying reality to stare down. So do with that as you will. Brady Blades, Utah represent. Utah, welcome. We love Utah. We live in Utah. Utah is where some cool people live. It's not an exclusive place. Like, there are some lame people who live here, and there are some cool people who live outside of Utah. But there are some cool people here in Utah, including not limited to this guy who is in the comments.
Utah. Some of us are cool.
Some of us are cool. We should get a shirt that says that. Are you guys going to sell the new gold Benchmade? I'd be very surprised if we didn't. We usually carry the Benchmade gold class. But be warned, they do tend to sell out fast. They're highly collectible. Blade Show was awesome. I always end up buying knives at Blade Show because I'm overwhelmed by the options. Yeah, that, I will say, you always see stuff that you want, but what I tell myself is, if I walked into Blade Show wanting to buy a specific thing, I can buy it. But if I discovered it at Blade Show, am I really gonna do that? Oh, I just see the Arc Pro you were wanting on Wednesday. I did. I hope I can get one. If not, I'll just do the Arc Feld Ultra, which is sort of the next best thing. But the Arc Pro is definitely the preferable one. In fact, the Arc Pro Ultra is the one I really hope for because it's got what they call the Arc Beat. And half the whole reason I'm doing this year challenge next year is so that I can show patina or something. And even if it doesn't get super scratched up, the arc beat will show me exactly how long I've used the flashlight, which would be pretty slick. From the halls. Oh, that's right. It's the Marine Corps' birthday today. So I, once upon a time in Texas, was given the privilege of attending a Marine Corps birthday party. And it's a fuzzy memory at this point, but I want to say there's a cake where the youngest Marine present and the oldest Marine present both get to go first. And I will never forget, I see, like, it's a very somber ceremony, and they hand a piece of cake to this old man, and he takes a bite of cake, and you see a tear rolling down his face. And I'm like, this is the first time I've ever seen an old dude cry while eating cake. But I imagine that man has seen some things in his life, and he's lost some people. So for all you Marines out there, thank you for your service. In fact, my big brother is about to become a JAG in the Marine Corps, and he's told me all about the training that he has to go through. And he says, I thought I was a pretty fit dude, like rucking was his hobby for 10 years before. And he says, now I need to really level it up. So he quit his job as a lawyer, and for the last 3 months, his full-time job has been getting into shape for the Marine Corps. So if we have any Marines in the comments, thank you for joining us, and thank you for your service. As for all of you veterans as well, Veterans Day is tomorrow, and we are celebrating with the Continue Mission campaign right now. So feel free to head on over to bladehq.com, enter some of those raffles, win some cool knives, and support some military folks. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the video proper. Did we do a bounty hunt on May the 4th? Yes, we absolutely did. And it went pretty hard. I love Blade HQ. What is your favorite knife, George? Right now, I'm torn between the Cold Steel AD10 and the ProTech TR3 Integrity. It's gonna be one of those. They're both really good. Anyone know when Magnum X production knives will be available? I would assume you'll start seeing some in. I assume you'll start seeing some in January and December. George, President Obama made no attempt at stricter knife laws. You are not wrong. However, I remember I was just barely getting into knives there, and I remember there were some lawsuits in the name of the Federal Switchblade Act that I personally thought he could have done a better job of resisting. But honestly, we're not going to get into politics here, but I do oppose the Federal Switchblade Act. I think it is dumb. I think it was targeted at minorities, and I don't like it at all. And I think that we as a country need to do a better job of fighting it, and that is why Blade HQ supports Knife Rights, one of our favorite organizations and some of our favorite people. George, I haven't received my Halloween surprise. I was first to guess all houses. Should I be more patient? I don't know. So I will tell you about the Halloween surprises. Blade HQ is very wary of people sort of cheating in that sort of thing, like using insider people to get codes and all that. So I was very out of the loop on that whole thing. I remember I saw the prompts the same time you did. I was not given any of the codes or anything. And if I were to win, then they would have investigated me. So I honestly have no idea how that whole system works. I imagine customer service can at least point you to the right person. So go for it. I hope that you can find help there. I don't know how much help I would be.
Yeah, they should be able to send a tracking number if they've shipped it.
Oh yeah, if you don't have a tracking number yet, then just reach out to customer service and say, hey, I put this in, this is my order number, what's the deal? And hopefully they'll be able to figure that out. Okay. I never make these streams. Well, Dutch Goalie, thanks for making it today. It's a lot of fun. In fact, we're about to start the whole new knives thing. So for all of you who are just joining us, I will remind you, we do have a giveaway going on at the end today. We are giving away these guys, the Remet Infinite Powers. They're a lot of fun. We actually featured them in New Knives last week, and this week they're our giveaways. So very exciting. Remet is one of our favorite brands around here, and we'll talk a little bit more about them in the video. So we are going to do this video in a way that it can be cut out and served as just a video for everybody else. And then afterwards, I'll come back, answer any questions you guys might have. We'll do the giveaway, and we'll wrap this thing up high and tight. All right, let's do this. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is November 10th, 2025, and it is a very special day because today is the day before Veterans Day. And one of our favorite things we do every year at Blade HQ is we support Continue Mission. They're a 501c3 nonprofit here in Utah that helps provide recreational therapy and a group of empathetic friends for veterans. So we invite you all to be generous over in the giveaway section at Blade HQ, we have a raffle that you can enter for $10 a raffle for whatever prize pack of your choice, and 100% of the profits, of the proceeds, every penny you add to those raffles gets donated to Continue Mission. And that giveaway ends, and the winners are chosen on the 15th. So this is coming Saturday. So please be generous over there. Next up, we have a sponsor for today's video from Remet Knives. So Remet, I have found out, is a variation on a word, I want to say it's pronounced remet. I could be wrong. It's a French word, which my understanding, I'm sure there's some French speaker in the comments who will totally roast me. It basically means to deliver, to return, to like bring back what you are asking for. And I really think they did a good job delivering with their knives all the way around. What kind of got Remet on the map was the Swordfish, which is a gravity knife, but these ones are their Infinite Powers, which are really cool because they are a perfectly symmetrical show scale, which is really fun. And it is something you don't often see in a folder that sort of takes some engineering and know-how to get done. And then it has a button-actuated liner lock and a proper dagger grind on the blade. And I wonder, I mean, it's not sharpened on the top for safety reasons, but I wonder if you did sharpen it, would it occlude the blade enough that you could get away with it and have a dagger folder? That'd be super cool. Anyway, Remet delivers. Every single one of their knives is well done, milled to the extreme, and honestly, their pricing is very competitive for the quality you're getting. Thank you, Remet, for sponsoring today's video, and you can check out all your favorite Remet knives and more at bladehq.com. Jumping right into new knives, we have a slew of things from QSP, starting with this guy. This is the much anticipated Baby Penguins. This is a little fixed blade, and as you can see on this acrylic one, you have a little penguin cutout, and this is a pocket fixed blade. So it comes with this leather sheath that has a little pocket clip, and then you can just throw the knife in your sheath and throw the knife in your pocket. It's gonna have the same carrying effect as a folder, but gives you the strength, simplicity, and reliability of a fixed blade. This one's got a 14C28N blade that's 2.5 inches long. So it is by no means a big knife, but it's not so small either. I can still get 4 fingers on the handle. It's a nice, usable, everyday carry sized blade. And it comes in a few different handle flavors as well. This one has the acrylic. There's also some resins, some G10s, and even some carbon fibers that glow in the dark, which are a lot of fun. Anyway, these are also a really great price at $62, getting you a very excellent pocket fixed blade. The age of the pocket fixed blade, I would say the golden age of the pocket fixed blade is going on right now. And this is just the latest pebble on that pile. Next up, we have the Nebula. And this one is a very dressy knife, from what I've been able to observe. So we have a 14C28N blade, a steel frame, and then this one has these orange bone overlays, and then you have the frame lock here. One thing I want you to notice here is just how much mirror polishing there is going on here. It is absolutely stunning. Even the handle is mirror polished. I don't know how they're doing their polishes and maintaining these crazy prices. This is going for $89 plus if you want to get some of the fancier handle materials. Like they have one that's carbon fiber. They have some other bones. They have another one that's this like imitation mother of pearl that looks really cool. Anyway, just a really fun knife all the way around. And one thing I noticed is it does not have a pocket clip. So it's gonna carry nice and clean deep in your pocket, and then an absolutely smooth action with thumb stud or flipper for whatever you prefer. A very dressy knife, a very fancy one. That is the QSP Nebula. Keeping it QSP, we're going from fancy and dressy to beefy and outdoorsy. And this one is a name that I would not have guessed to associate with a knife. This is the QSP Tiny Tot. And for a Tiny Tot, you have a 10CR 15 MOV blade that is nice and thick. You can beat the tar out of this blade. It'll keep coming back for more. And then a tall flat grind on a broad blade. So it's gonna give you good slicing performance as well. 3.5 inches and probably in the 5 to 6 ounce range, and a nice Kydex sheath as well. So it's gonna be a great outdoor knife. And another thing I really appreciate is this clip on the back. So this thing can rotate. It doesn't rotate easy, so you gotta really lever it, and that way it'll actually carry securely. But once you get it into the position you want it to, at a cant, do scout carry, whatever, it's gonna be easy to carry right out of the box, and just an all-around great outdoor user. That is the Tiny Tot, though, going for $79. A great deal and a really great knife. I'm just not sure about the Tiny Tot name, but you know what? It's memorable, so we'll give it that. Next up, we have a couple of new flavors of some knives you know and love. These are the glow-in-the-dark handle versions of the QSP Glide Lock Penguin and Neck Knife Canary. Now, one of my favorite things about the Canary here is this spine jimping here. It's like angled file work almost. It almost is something you see in a custom knife, which is something kind of noticed with QSP a lot, is you get a lot of custom level accoutrements on really affordable knives. This Canary goes for in the $60 range starting, and the Penguin Glide Lock is $49. Gets you 14C28N and a nice smooth glide lock action. And I just love that this polymer stuff glows in the dark. Here, I'll bust out my flashlight and show you. You can see how it just really pops under the UV here. And it charges up, it glows, it's a lot of fun. And glow-in-the-dark knives are such a boon when you're outdoors, because what I really appreciate about a glow-in-the-dark knife, I took one camping this summer, is if you have your flashlight out and you're looking for your knife, you might miss it when you hit it with the flashlight. But with a glow-in-the-dark, just blow your tent up with light and then put your flashlight away, and the only thing left glowing will be your knife, which I think is such a clever thing. And I just love that we get it on some of these more affordable knives from QSP. Next up, another brand on the table, CRKT, and this one is the Xolotl OTF. So I want to say it's called Xolotl, that's how they were saying it on their YouTube channel, but I'm sure there's some historian here. My understanding is Xolotl is an Aztec deity, and this knife is sort of inspired by it, and the axolotl, the little creature you know, also has its name derived from that same thing. But this is a double action out the front, made here in the USA. We got aluminum handle scales and a 3.5-inch blade of MagnaCut. And this thing is really surprisingly thin. OTFs tend to be pretty thick just because of how the rail system works. But I don't know what they managed to cook up here, but this is one of the thinnest OTFs I've ever held. It's a nice, smooth double action, a great everyday carry or tactical option out there. Also, if you love this design but you're not into OTFs, or you live in a place you're not allowed to have one, the Xolotl design does exist as a fixed blade, and I want to say a folder as well over at CRKT, from CRKT as well, from the same designer. So you definitely get the same design language, but I think I like this OTF one the most. This is such a fun design and super, super easy to use. Just a great knife all the way around. These ones are going for $324. Next up, from Tour Knives, we have the brand new Draper. So Tour Knives was founded by some military veterans, and they make all of their knives to the spec they would need for combat zones in the United States of America. And the Draper is special because while Tour is mostly known for their fixed blades, the Draper is a folder with a crossbar lock. So it's going to be plenty strong for all the hard work you're going to be putting it through, but it also is going to be actuatable, is that a word? It's going to be usable for righties, lefties, gloved, whatever. Now these ones have MagnaCut blade steel. These ones are aluminum handle scales, anodized, and then of course the crossbar lock we mentioned, and they are going for $325. And for 3.5 inches of MagnaCut this stout, and for a company made in the USA for this quality, $325 is a very competitive price, as times get more expensive in the USA for manufacturing and that kind of thing. Next up, from from Ketuo Knives, we have the, I don't think I wrote this one down, I'm sorry about that. This is the Ketuo, it's a Japanese word, Yakuza, there we go. Yakuza is the mafia in Japan, for lack of a better word. I don't know too much about Japanese underground, but this knife definitely has that vibe. It's got the curve and the design language that definitely lends itself to a more Japanese flair. But then look at this grind on this blade. It's got a tanto, which always feels a little Japanese inspired, and it's just an absolute beast of a knife. It wants to go to work, and I just love these compound grinds. What they give you is a lot of performance in slicing, because as you see here on the blade, this deep hollow grind gives you a very thin edge, but then at the tanto tip up here, it gives you a flat grind. So it's gonna be really rugged and robust for tip work as well. So this is sort of a do-it-all knife. My goodness, does it look good. This one's got the blue G10 and the carbon fiber bolsters. And then we also have this guy up here with the black G10. And then instead of having the coated backspacer and pocket clip, you have uncoated. Kind of gives you the same effect all the way around. A very cool knife indeed. These have 14C 28N stainless blade steel, so it's going to give you great stainlessness and really good toughness. That's one of the best steels out there for toughness, in fact. Just a great knife all the way around. Thank you, Ketuo, for making something cool for us. Next up, from Heretic, we have the Jin Auto. So the Jin, you might recognize, was a slip joint once upon a time. And this is joining only one other knife I can think of, being the Chavez Redencion, that is available as both a slip joint and an auto, which is such a fun combo. This one's USA made. You got a Magna Cut blade with this beautiful finish on it, aluminum handle scales, and the classic Heretic pocket clip with the little ball entry, and a snappy automatic action. I really appreciate that this one is very much an EDC knife. Sometimes when you hear autos, you think tactical, tactical, tactical. But a lot of the time, people who just want simple, easy one-hand opening to open their boxes, slice a thread, whatever, and the Jin is delivering it here, and I really do appreciate that from Heretic. A lot of fun and very interesting indeed. This one is just the prototype though. So the way Heretic tends to do things is they deliver a prototype, which is like the first production sample. It's basically a custom at that point. And then from that prototype, they hammer out a much more streamlined design process. And then later on, a production model will come out. But these prototypes are highly collectible. So for you guys out there who are into the rare, the interesting, the difficult to find, I would pick these ones up sooner than later. Next up, we have a new brand that needs no introduction, Mr. Designs. These ones stole the show at Blade Show West this year because of how amazing they are and how innovative they are, and also how, like, deceptively simple they are. Like, this is the Titan. This is the knife that won overall. It goes for $410. You have a 3.9-inch blade of M390 and a full titanium handle. It's all the luxury you could ever ask for. But the cool thing here is this lock. This is called the interlock. So you might think, oh, that's just a crossbar lock that has these little pads that you can grab onto. Those actually are there to prevent the lock from seizing up. It's gonna be one of the smoothest actuating locks. The way you're there, you can run it from the side like a crossbar, but if you grab that little thing on the top there, that's how you run the lock. It's nice and strong, it's super smooth, and very easy to operate. Love it, love it, love it. This is such a cool knife. Honestly, of all the knives that came out this year, this one is probably the biggest grail knife I've had yet. It is just so good. My favorite thing about it is this pocket clip. This pocket clip it looks like a wire clip, but it's actually milled titanium and it sits just perfectly. And in the box, there's another pocket clip if you want to do it lefty, gives you the same performance and everything. Just a great knife. Very well done, Mr. Designs, and I think some well-deserved awards on that one. Another Mr. Design, this one also won Best Import, is the Zero. Now, I think the reason it's called the Zero is because of how many parts are visible on the front here. So, like, you have this button here, which runs the button, but the stop pin, the pivot, the side screws and everything are just completely hidden from the front. And it's not like they're really standing out on the back either. You have your pivot here so you can adjust and disassemble, and then the body screw also holds in the pocket clip. This knife is so clean, and one thing I really appreciate is how light it is. I wish I could hand it to you so you could just experience how much milling there is in the titanium. This thing is it's about 3.1 ounces. For a 3.5-inch blade with a full titanium handle is absurdly lightweight. And this thing is just an EDC champion. I would love to carry one of these. But like the other one, these ones actually sold out this morning. But don't worry, we have more on order. They'll be back. But Mr. Designs came and took the world by storm this year, and we were very excited to see what they come up with next. And then lastly, we have the Blade HQ exclusive Advanced Knife Bro Stumpfish. So if you've ever wanted to giggle a little bit while watching knife content, yet still feel like you're learning something, Advanced Knife Bro is the place to go. And what I like about the Stumpfish is, just like the previous knives we've done with him, is they are definitely a send up to a traditional pattern that we don't get to see much of anymore. And this one being the Sunfish. So for you traditional knife nerds out there, the Sunfish is definitely a classic pattern that we don't get to see much of. This one is a Sunfish through and through, but also an Advanced Knife Bro. It's got the stump on there because the stump is where he does all of his videos. And this one's got this fun, like, berry bone, I want to say it's called. But it comes in a couple different bone flavors, as well as a canvas micarta, a 154 cm blade, and a nice stout slip joint mechanism. It's classic, it's old school, but it's also new school, and we love it, and we're very happy to carry it here at Blade HQ. Those are going for $120. So pick those up right now because they are there. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us on New Knives today. We've got a ton more where this came from over at BladeHQ.com. Just go to the new arrivals section. You can see all of these and many more. Don't forget to be generous with Continue Mission because that giveaway is decided on this upcoming Saturday, the November 15th. So make sure to get over there, and we will see you all next time. Except for everybody here in the live. Whew, man. I don't know why I'm less nervous to talk to people face to face in the live than I am to just stare at the camera and talk there. Once I can afford my own CNC, it's over for the knife world. My company won't let me use one of ours after hours. I'm sorry, Gone Fission. It's a real thing. Thanks, George. Oh, thanks. The Kidoo Yakuza design is based off of a snub-nosed revolver. Is it really? I mean, I can kind of see it. Yeah, a little bit. Kind of get the revolver in there. I wish I had a snub-nosed revolver to show you, but I do not. I'm more of a semi-auto man myself. Remet giveaway. Yeah, we're going to do that here in a minute. In fact, I'll tell you right now, if you want to get in on the giveaway, you can just be active in the comments, just like ETEDC. I do remember you, and I'm glad you finally turned 18 because those are the rules. You must be 18 years or older in the United States of America to win. And the way you enter is just be active in the chat. Just ask questions, talk to people. Juliana Hopper, Juliana, what is the most expensive knife I own? Probably my limited edition Cold Steel 8010, the 3V in solid tie one. That one is, I want to say it's sold for $550. I could be wrong on that one. Mr. is dope. You are not wrong. Any updates on the Magpul Breslau? I wish I had more for you. They keep giving us deadlines, and they're really trying to hammer it out and make it really good. And I'm more than happy to let them. Mick Ranger, can you show us that Mr. one more time? Yeah, I'll show you the Titan. I assume that's the one you're looking at. But if you want to see the Zero, just let me know. I'm trying to buy a Benchmade. What should I get? My favorite Benchmade's the Freak. But yeah, that's just mine. Imagine George was at his piece. Yeah, somebody asked me what my carry gun is. I do not carry a gun because I only have the one. I have a Glock 19 Gen 5 at home, and it lives at home because my house used to be a drug recovery home, and we have had cops showing up looking for fugitives a few times. We decided I could either carry my gun to Blade HQ, where I work behind a locked door, and there are multiple people carrying between me and said door, or I can leave it at home where my wife is raising children. So it was an easy choice for me to just leave the gun at home with her. But I hopefully will one day get to carry my own. I've had an eye on a SIG P365 XL. Really like that one. Pricing going up to everywhere. It'd be wonderful to win a knife. I think it would be wonderful. User bunch of letters. Hopefully we can get you one today. Griptilian with the hole is the best. Yes, I have a Griptilian with a hole opener, and I do love it. I will say the hollowing out in the handle makes it a very loud knife, which I think is a lot of fun, but yeah. You need more guns. I have a few guns. I have a Bolt Action 30-06. I have a Ruger 1022. I have a Sears Roebuck 410. I have a Break Action Winchester 12 gauge. Yeah, I think that's about it. Those are all my guns. Anyway, yep. Should we do some giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we will give away, should we do the satin one or the black one first? All right, so we're gonna give away this satin one first. The way you enter is just be active in the comments, and y'all have been very good about that for the last minute. Yes. So should we give him another second?
Yeah,
Okay, Gone Fishing. George doesn't carry a gun because he's deadlier with a blade. While everyone else is at the range, he was sharpening Cold Steel Katana to be as sharp it can cut shadows. Gone Fishing, I'm flattered. I will tell you, I genuinely have no problem with people carrying guns for self-defense and everything. I just don't know that I have it in me to use one, and I've never been trained on one. So if I ever carry a gun for self-defense, I will first get lots and lots of training so I know what I'm doing. Yep.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, who wins our first one?
ED Pal.
ED Pal. Congratulations, ED Pal. You have won the Remet Infinite Power M390 Blade Titanium. It's going to be lovely. Let us know in the comments. Do you want to send us an email at questions@bladehq.com, or do you want to send us a DM on Instagram? Either way, we can get this knife to you lickety split. We just gotta know where to look for you. Somebody says I'm more of a gun guy than a knife guy. I will tell you, I used to think that knives were sort of subpar for self-defense, and then I spoke to Patrick Odell when we did our big video, and I wrote an article That was probably my biggest knife hot take ever, which is you should carry a knife instead of a gun for self-defense, which I think was a bit clickbaity, but he made some really good points. And one of my favorites that he made was he said, I had a coworker named Michelle at the time. She is an older lady and she said, I took my son shooting for his birthday and I didn't know how to operate the gun. And when I learned, it was just really hard to run the slide. But she says, I use a paring knife every single day at home. Now, what does you think is going to be the logical choice for her? A gun she doesn't know how to operate and can barely physically do so, or a knife much like the one she uses every single day? I think it's a logical choice. Okay, have we heard from him yet?
They just asked, was that me? So we're just,
Yes, it was.
EDPAL 942.
Yeah, Josiah Kramer, that is the point I made at the end. Knives are subpar to self-defense, but why not carry both? Like, you have the room for it. Like, I believe if you carry a gun for self-defense, you should also carry a knife because knives are a lot better at opening packages and slicing apples and that kind of thing. Knives are great as a backup, not a primary. Yep, Brandy Winter, I agree. And Brandy Winter told us about the Beowulf she has, so don't break into her house because she knows what to do. Okay, does the Titan work like a shark lock? Kind of, yeah. A similar mechanism here, but instead of having a big hook on the side, you just pull that little lever there. It does actuate like a shark lock. And if you have longer hands than I do and can like bed the knife deep in your palm, then you can kind of actuate the thing like a crossbar lock. But I find it just so much easier to just run the top like a crossbar. That's how I would recommend it. Okay.
They replied and said, awesome email, I think.
Email, perfect. Awesome, wonderful, all the good stuff. Now, for our second Remet Infinite Power, the black one, our winner is...
Oh, hold on.
Just kidding, we're gonna hold on.
We gotta build up some anticipation here.
You can't stab with a knife you don't have. You're not wrong. Remember, guys, switching to your secondary is faster than reloading. What are your thoughts on the ProTech Cambria? Dead sexy. It's a really good one.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right, who wins this guy, Doug?
Bill Bobby, 4374.
Bill Bobby, 4374. Congratulations. You get this Remet Infinite Power all for you, for free. Just let us know in the comments. Do you want to send us an email or do you want to DM us on Instagram? Either way works for us. Is that DLC or PVD? I would imagine this is a PVD. The reason I say that is because this one looks like it was tumbled just a little bit. So you can kind of get these little scratches. And you can tumble a DLC finish and it will turn out all right. But PVD, like generic PVD, like, I don't know, the titanium nitride they might use or whatever, probably is gonna wear just a little bit faster. But DLC is a type of PVD, so most physical vapor deposition is done where they put the knife or the blade in a vacuum and then they boil metal in it so it turns into a gas, and then they let that gas collect on the blade. And normally the gas that collects is a mixture of nitrogen and a metal of some sort. So my personal favorite of the PVDs is the zirconium nitride that you see on a lot of ProTech knives. They call it the sapphire finish because that's what it looks like, just this beautiful blue, a stunning finish indeed. However, the PVD that they use is a physical vapor deposition, but it's where they put pure carbon into the chamber and then using some other crazy stuff, they make it crystallize onto the blade. And that's why they call it DLC, diamond-like carbon, because it's basically pure carbon crystals collecting on a blade, and therefore it is diamond-like. It's not quite the same as diamond, but it's very much close, and it has some of the best wear resistance ever. And because of that, yes, you can tumble it, but it takes a lot of tumbling to get this kind of a finish on a DLC. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I will say, I do know that the Bradford Knives Nimbus finish is a tumbled DLC. Kind of fun. George, is there gonna be a bounty hunt on Thanksgiving? Juliana, there might be. I haven't heard anything, but I, as I mentioned earlier, am very seldom in the loop on those kind of things. But if there is, rest assured we will tell you about it. I love that in a nerdy community, George sometimes out-nerds us all. Gone Fission, that's high praise coming from you, buddy. That guy, for those of you who don't know, Gone Fission is an engineer, and he's forgotten more about calculus than I will ever know. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming. This has been a lot of fun. Congratulations to the winners. We'll look out for your messages, and we'll hopefully get these to you lickety-split. And other than that, I think we'll just see you next time.